Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to the Hot Stocks Outlook for March 30th, 2018. Hope you're all having a great week in the financial markets, and we have a lot to cover today. We're going to start with AK Steel, a lot going on in aluminum and steel manufacturing companies. We've got American Electric Power, the utilities, which we've been touching on over the past several weeks. Allegheny Technologies, so the tech space here, also with AMD, and also we'll take a look at Viacom. But starting here with AK Steel. We're going to be looking at the daily bars and candles, really representing our daily price action over the past several days, really through this month of March here. And against those daily bars and candles, you're going to see that there is a black line and also a blue line. Now, the black line there represents a regular simple moving average, or what we refer to as the actual simple moving average. And it's a really great summary of where the market has already been. It really summarizes the past trading over a period of time. But what we're able to do is compare that value to a predicted moving average. So this blue line is generated via the artificial intelligence found within the VantagePoint software. So whenever that prediction moves either above or below the summary, it tells you the overall trend direction of the market, so that you can go ahead and actually be prepared, find those fresh crossovers and look to take action on the market. Here we have a situation where you see, it's a very cheap stock here, but that predicted moving average moving to 554, right below 555, and suggesting, okay, well, now's the time to go in and actually look to short the market. And there's been a lot of news and reports and things about what's going on with steel and tariffs and all these things. But if you want to be a trader and make money in the market, you need consistently accurate tools to guide those trading decisions. So what we have here is a situation that says, okay, well, you want to look to be short from this point forward. And in addition to that predicted moving average, you also have a highly accurate 48-hour indicator with the predicted neural index, this green or red indicator at the bottom. But you're also given a predicted range. So it's really the entirety of all these tools used together that create that forecast and help you know moving forward through your trade how you want to respond and adapt to the changing market conditions. So you know when to add to a position, when to get out of the way if a position isn't working properly, so that you can be very efficient with your trading decisions and how you interact with the marketplace. So when we bring up those predicted highs and lows against the actual trading days, what we have is a forecast to the downside saying look to get short, and then you can use those predicted high and low levels for guidance moving forward. You see how this works. We have this trading day right here. We can see the predicted high value of 555. Market moves up to about 563, closes at 526. So a really great entry for a trend trader. But there's multiple trades here as the market moves forward, saying, okay, well, look for the market to move back to these predicted high levels before you want to look to get involved in the trade. And what that allows you to do is, again, be very efficient with your trading decisions. So you really understand what to expect, where you can look to accept entries into the market. You can just go ahead and put limit orders and make sure, again, you're very efficient with that overall trading approach here. We can see from this initial entry into the market, this market is down significantly. And another great thing is we've seen this throughout all the different steel stocks. So when you bring up, commercial metals company, Nucor, US Steel, all these companies doing very, very poorly. This is a 22% move to the downside in just the last 14 trading days. So the last thing you want to be doing is getting into these stocks because you think tariffs will, be supportive, or maybe you've heard something or whatever's going on. Have a tool that's going to guide you to not only get into the market at the right time, but adjust that position so that you can really get the most out of each opportunity. Here in America Electric Power, again in the utility space, this is one of the few areas of the market where there's been that support for market prices. We've seen the NASDAQ and S&P have these very, really dramatic moves lower. A lot of volatility coming into the market, but that's the great thing about, again, these predicted ranges. They're dealing with volatility for you as your trades progress and move forward. So you really know where you want to be, where you want to look to accept prices. So we have this uptrend here going back to the middle part over the past couple weeks in really all the utility space. There's so many different stocks you could be buying at these predicted lows, but the trend's still very much to the upside. You can see we never get that crossover to the downside between that predicted moving average. And the neural index warns you there's going to be some short-term strength over those subsequent 48-hour periods, but the trend is still very much to the upside. So you only want to be taking long positions and buying on dips. Again, we can bring up those predicted high and low levels and get a sense of Okay, well, where are these levels coming in and having you buy the market? Well, great entry at the beginning of the trend to get you started, and great entries to, as a short-term trader, be buying and targeting these predicted high levels. You buy here, you see you get a huge move higher. You buy at this predicted low, huge move higher, and you can be taking bits and pieces out of this trade as it moves forward. Not a huge move so far. Utilities, not one of those sectors that are going to move tremendously, but when you're taking, 1 or 2% here, 3% move here, you're making money. And there's very few places in the market where you want to be getting long here without having, the markets then drop 3-4% on a lot of these individual stocks. Want to focus on those areas where the trend's working for you and you can find that support. About a 5% move so far from those predicted lows, and these stocks still moving up and being very supported. Here in Allegheny Technologies, just another situation as far as the NASDAQ. So many tech stocks showing exactly what you see all the way back here, really weeks ago. These crossovers to the downside, Neural Index very weak over the course of this trade. You understand, okay, well, I want to go ahead and hedge that portfolio, find areas to get short, and definitely be taking profit on some of your longer term long positions where this is just not the time to be messing around with these stocks and really entire sectors going into downtrends. So you see a predicted high here, predicted high here, predicted high here, but you want to be selling at these levels where there's just absolutely no support to be buying over any 48-hour periods or trying to catch any dips to be a buyer. Everything's saying the market is going to continue lower. And, this is especially what you want to avoid as a trader in the markets is definitely don't find yourself or catch yourself long in markets when they're in very strong downtrends and you see entire sectors really giving back a lot. This is 16% in just the past couple weeks. We're seeing this on a lot of tech stocks. Here's AMD. Same thing, very clear crossover to the downside saying the trend is lower. You get one day with the Neural Index up at a 1 and the next day you see you get a little bit of a bump in the price, but the trend is still very much to the downside. This predicted level well below the actual moving average. This has been a very popular stock. It got bid up from about $8 up to $11, got a lot of people excited. But again, the last thing you want to be doing in these sort of market conditions is buying a stock that is projected to move lower into a downtrend. Rather, you can go ahead and short from these predicted high levels, target these predicted low levels as a shorter term trader, and be taking these pieces of the market away and into your pocket. So getting some value as these markets move lower as well. So AMD doing very, very poorly here, along with the NASDAQ around 17% here, just in 13 trading days. So the last couple weeks, and really just to round out these opportunities, Viacom here, exact same thing. You've just seen so many different stocks aside from the utilities. Few and far between gold stocks are starting to perk up a little bit. But other than that, so many opportunities are bringing through these forecasts to the downside, these fresh crossovers with just a lot of separation between the prediction and the actual moving average. And it's directing you to go ahead and take short positions, be making money over the past couple weeks with this excessive weakness that we've seen in the market. Here again, predicted high levels coming in to guide you as the market moves forward. So rather than really messing around in these days where there's really no money to be made, have an order waiting at this predicted high. You actually would get filled at the open, and then the weakness plays out and continues. Predicted high here, and again on things like this where you get filled at the open with a limit order and the market immediately starts trading lower. So definitely don't want to be long in these markets. Maybe things turn around and those forecasts will come through and there'll be some good opportunities. But right now, so many of these stocks are forecast to the downside, and it just doesn't make sense to be trying to get aggressively long individual stocks outside of a couple really kind of niche areas of the market where you've seen that whole sector sort of perk up and show some strength there. So with this profit calculator here, again, 8% decline here. In shares of Viacom, just not the right time to be messing around with tech stocks, biotech, a lot of these things doing very, very poorly here and not sustaining any sort of trend and bullish movements in the market. So with all that said, guys, thank you all for watching. Best of luck to the traders out there in the markets. It is certainly a time to be very aware, on your toes, and be taking profits, utilizing these levels within the VantagePoint software to make sure you're on the right side of the market, getting those good entries, is that it really makes the whole process a lot more efficient and allows you to really pull more value out of the market for your trading style and approach. So have a great rest of the week. This has been our Hot Stocks Outlook for March 30th, 2018. Best of luck. Thanks again, and bye for now.